Hello, you're welcome. In this video, I want to show you how you can use the error checking feature of Excel to be able to detect errors in your sheet as well as address such errors effectively. So to perform this, you can see I have this data with various calculations, and these two calculations actually possess errors. So I will select one of these errors. Then from my Home tab, I'll be moving to my Formulas tab. Click on this Formulas tab, then come to this Formula Auditing, and you will see this error checking feature. So I will just click on this, and here I have an information pertaining the error. It tells me that a value used in the formula is of the wrong data type. So this information may not be sufficient for me, and I need more information to be able to solve my error. To get more information, I click on this help on this error. Once I click on it, you see it redirects me and shows me more information. So this information, after reading it, I've been able to understand what the error is all about. So what I will do is to come back to my Excel and click on this resume, then check my calculation steps. So when I click on my calculation steps, this is going to show me how we got to this value error. So I will click on this evaluate. If I click on evaluate, it shows me that my calculation starts from D3 multiplying E3. So let's see, for anyone that is able to execute, it shows us here, and the one that error stops from executing, it also shows us. So for this one now, we also click on evaluate to see if the D3 will be executed as is the next to be executed, considering this underline that it have. So I will just click on this evaluate again. So you can see it has been able to evaluate this D3 to get 10. Now it wants to evaluate E3, which is this NA. Let's see. Now it encounters the NA error from here. And from that NA error, if we click on evaluate again, we see that that is where our error comes from. So we can just close this, and then we can either ignore if it is not really an issue to us, but in our case it's an issue. So what we'll do is to edit in formula. So I will just come here, click on this edit in formula, and here I will check my data again, and I've just checked and confirmed that it is supposed to be 10 here. So the unit price is 10. So I will just change the unit price to 10 and go back to resume. So you can see that the error has disappeared. So if we go to this our show calculations now, it will be for the row 9. Okay, so this first one has been resolved. So here we can also go through the process of showing the steps. So if we show the steps, we can also see that in this case, the error starts from this very error. Okay, so it all begins from this error here. So it shows us that the first problem is from the error. We evaluate, the second one is okay. So we now know where we are supposed to make our corrections. So we can come back here, click on this editing formula, then check our data again to know what is supposed to be here. So I've checked mine, and this is supposed to be 5. So I will just check this 5. I'll change this to 5 and enter. So you can see that it has disappeared. Once I click on this resume, there won't be anything on this again. So it tells me that the error check is complete for this entire sheet. Now, if I come to this other side, I want to show you another error, which is this divide by 0 error. So I can still move to this, my formula auditing, click on this and click on help error to get more information. But here it tells me that it's all about a division by 0 or an empty cell. Now, I can either ignore this, show calculation steps to see where the problem is from. So if I evaluate, you see that it starts from D5 and it divides by B5, and B5 is 0, which is not supposed to be. So you can see that when we now click on evaluate again, that's where the whole issue begins. So what we'll do is to still come to this editing formula, and then here where we have this 0, we check what is supposed to be there. So once we've been able to see it, so in my case, it's supposed to be 20,000, 20,000, I mean, 20,000, and enter. So here I click on my resume and you see that this very error has cleared. And that's just the same way you go through it to trace every error on your sheet. When you're done with that sheet, you move to the next sheet until you've been able to correct all the errors that you have in your workbook. And you'll be able to do this effectively with this error checking feature of Excel. And that's just what I want to show you in this video. And I hope you've been able to find this video helpful. Please, if you have, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.